children, how are you? I hope you all are doing well. So children, now that we know most of our grammar concepts, okay, let's move on to a very important thing in grammar, which is called comprehension passages. Okay, so comprehension passages में क्या होता है? They basically you get passages or poems and you have to read them, okay, understand them, and you have to answer questions. These comprehension passages are unseen passages. Okay, आपने कभी इनको पहले पढ़ा नहीं होगा. And then you get a passage, उसमें से आपको पढ़ के उसके जवाब देने हैं, जो भी सवाल होंगे उसके जवाब देने. So it's pretty interesting because it helps you by enhancing your skills of paying attention to minute details. Okay, they're quite a good learning experience for you. Okay, so now, hello kids, the word comprehension means to understand. Comprehension exercises usually include unseen passages or poems. These exercises are intended to test your reading and comprehending abilities. Okay? तो हमें उससे हमें कोई भी पैसेज होता है कितने समझ में आ रहा है, हमारी रीडिंग को एनहांस करता है. All these skills get quite enhanced. Okay? So, follow these points while attempting comprehension passages. Read the passage carefully to get its central idea. Okay, remember these things always. First, read it carefully to get an idea of what it is about. Read again to know the small details. Like I said, it helps us to enhance our skills of paying attention to minute details. Okay, study the questions. Go to the relevant portions again as you read the questions. Try to find the answers to the given questions. Answer the questions in the same tense in which they have been asked. अगर present tense में पूछे गए हैं तो present tense में ही उनका जवाब देना है. Okay, and most of the answers are in the comprehension itself. Do not add anything on your own. Clear? So now, read the following story and answer the questions that follow. A day at the nature center. Okay, Emma was feeling very excited. She and her class were on their way to the nature center. She loved animals and couldn't wait to spend the day at the center. The bus came to a stop and Emma climbed down with the rest of her Earth Studies classmates. Her teacher, Mrs. Bose, stood at the front of the group and announced, "Welcome to the Nature Center. In a few minutes, a guide will give us a presentation about the native animals and their habitat. After the presentation, you will have a worksheet to complete while you explore the rest of the center. Now, I want everyone to find a partner to work with." Emma looked around worriedly as her classmates began to pair up. She was new to the school. She didn't have any friends yet. Who would be her partner? Emma hesitated for a moment and then approached Julia, a talkative and outgoing girl who sat near her in class. "Could I be your partner?" Emma asked hesitantly. "Sure, you can," smiled Julia. Together, the girls walked into the nature center. "Let's see," said Julia. "One of the things we are supposed to do is to locate the rodent." Okay, rodent matlab chooha, okay, rodent area, and assist with feeding the baby squirrels. Okay, these squirrels and all जो होते हैं ना, they belong to the rodent categories, like the mouse, squirrel and all, the mongoose and all. आप अगर उनको देखोगे, they'll all look similar. Okay, some have short tails and some have long tails. That is the difference. Okay, but otherwise they are all more or less similar. So they belong to the rodent category, the squirrels and all. So do you think we actually have to hold one? Maybe you should let me feed it while you watch. Julia was so excited that she fired one question after another and didn't wait for a response from Emma. Emma and Julia walked into the rodent area and stood there looking around at all of the rats, mice, chipmunks and squirrels. "Hi there," boomed an enthusiastic voice from behind them. "I'm Joydeep, the keeper in charge of rodents. Did you come to see the squirrels?" "Yes," said Emma, turning around with an eager smile on her face. "Do we actually get to feed the babies?" "Of course you do, but let me show you how," said Joydeep smilingly. Joydeep showed them how to wrap a baby squirrel in a towel and hold a bottle of warm milk. Emma settled back into a chair, enjoying the warmth of the tiny ball of fur nestled in her hand. "Would you like to help feed the adult squirrels too?" asked Joydeep. Emma was quick to volunteer, but when Joydeep opened the first cage, the squirrel inside leaped out. Julia shrieked and tried to jump out of the way. Emma, who maintained her composure, bent down, held out her hand, and made quiet, soothing sounds. The runaway squirrel cocked its head to one side and seemed to listen to her. Quickly, while the squirrel was distracted by Emma, Joydeep reached over and scooped it up. He smiled appreciatively. "Good job, Emma. It's not easy to remain calm when a wild animal gets out of its cage. I am impressed." "You know," said Joydeep, "we've been looking for part-time volunteers to help with the animals. Would you be interested in interviewing for a volunteer position here at the center?" Interested? If only he knew how thrilled she was. So बच्चों, this is a beautiful passage about this girl who goes for a nature center trip फ्रॉम स्कूल. ओके, स्कूल से वो नेचर सेंटर ट्रिप गई है टूर के लिए, और जहाँ पे उन्हें अलग अलग वाइल्ड एनिमल्स और अलग अलग एनिमल्स की कैटेगरीज को देखना है. सो वैसे ही एक कैटेगरी होती है रोडेंट्स की. सो जैसे मैंने आपको समझाया, रोडेंट्स कैटेगरी में चूहे आते हैं, स्क्विरल्स एंड ऑल कम. सो दे वेंट टू दैट कैटेगरी एंड दे वर गिवन अ चांस. ओके, एक तो उनको पेयर्स बनाते थे. सो शी मेड फ्रेंड्स विद जूलिया, देन दे वेंट टू दैट portion, the area where the rodents were, and then they got an opportunity to feed the baby squirrel. Okay, and then फिर उसको वहाँ का जो गाइड था, केयर टेकर था, उसने पूछा डू यू वांट टू फीड द adult squirrels also. फिर कैसे one of the squirrel escaped and how Emma helped him get it back. Okay, and how he asked her कि हमें volunteers की ज़रूरत है, would you like to be a part of it? And because Emma was an animal lover and a nature lover, immediately with lot of thrill agreed. So children, read this beautiful passage. अभी आपको समझ में आएगा कि passages कैसे लिखे जाते हैं. Okay, and then read every small detail of this and then start answering the questions quickly. Okay, जैसे you have to answer the following questions, you have to rewrite as instructed. सो आपको इंस्ट्रक्शन मिलेगी, उसके हिसाब से आपको सेंटेंसेस को रीराइट करना है. देन यू हैव टू फाइंड वर्ड्स इन द टेक्स्ट that mean the same as the words below. So you have certain words given here and you have to find the exact words that are the synonyms of these words. Okay, now let's read the next one. Okay, read the following story and answer the questions that follow. This story is about Rani Lakshmibai. Okay, Rani Lakshmibai, the fiery queen of Jhansi, also known as the Rani of Jhansi, was born on 19th November 1835 at Kashi. Her father, Moropant, was a Brahmin and her mother, Bhagirathi Bai, was a cultured, intelligent and orthodox lady. Manikarnika, Manu, was the name of Rani Lakshmibai in her childhood. When she was only 4 years of age, she lost her mother. The complete responsibility of the young girl fell on the father. She completed her education and also learned horse riding, sword fighting, and shooting on a target with a gun. She was married to Raja Gangadhar Rao, the Maharaja of Jhansi, in 1842 and became the Rani of Jhansi. After the marriage, she was given the name Lakshmibai. Okay, the marriage ceremony was performed in Ganesh Mandir situated in the city of Jhansi. Rani Lakshmibai gave birth to a son in 1851, but unfortunately this child died at the age of 4 months. After this tragedy, she adopted Damodar Rao as son. Later on, Maharaja Gangadhar Rao also died on 21st November 1853. After the death of Maharaja Gangadhar Rao, Rani Lakshmibai was left alone. At this time, she was just 18 years old. Rani Lakshmibai was a bold and brave lady. She did not lose her courage. Okay, at that time, Lord Dalhousie was the Governor General of India. Though little Damodar Rao, adopted son of late Maharaja Gangadhar Rao, and Rani Lakshmi Bai was Maharaja's heir and successor as per the Hindu tradition, but the British rulers didn't accept Rani's claim that Damodar Rao was their legal heir. Okay, Lord Dalhousie decided to annex the state of Jhansi under his doctrine of lapse, as Maharaja Gangadhar Rao had left no legal heir. Okay, this misfortune of Jhansi was used by the Britishers to expand their empire. The Rani was given a life pension of 60,000 rupees and was allowed to live in the city palace. When the decision to annex Jhansi was communicated to her, she apparently declared, "मैं झांसी नहीं दूंगी." But there was no resistance offered to the British takeover. So बच्चों, ये हमारी हिस्ट्री से, हमारे भारत की हिस्ट्री से एक पैसेज है अबाउट आ ब्रेव क्वीन, ओके, क्वीन ऑफ झांसी, जिसे हम सब जानते हैं, ओके, रानी लक्ष्मीबाई. हाउ शी फॉट फॉर हर स्टेट झांसी, कैसे उसने झांसी की रक्षा करने के लिए, हाउ शी फॉट द ब्रिटिशर्स. ओके, उसकी स्टोरी है ये. इट इज़ टॉकिंग अबाउट हाउ शी वॉज, ओके, when she was born, she lost her mother at the age of 4. Then her father brought her up. Okay, फिर उसने अपने पढ़ाई के साथ साथ she learned different skills, like she learned gun. Okay, how to fire a gun. Then she learned how to do horse riding, sword fighting, everything she learned. And then after her husband passed away, okay, how Britishers wanted to take away Jhansi from her because she did not have a legal heir, okay, to the throne. Although she had adopted a son, but still, okay, they did not let him take over as the Maharaja of Jhansi, and how she fought to save her kingdom. So that's the beautiful story about Rani Lakshmibai. And so I know that after reading this passage, because it is so interesting, it will be easy for you to answer the questions. Okay. So on the basis of your understanding of the passage, answer the following questions. Okay. Then you have to write whether, okay, the following statements are true or false. Okay, then you have to rewrite the following sentences as directed into the bracket and tick the complete synonym for each of the following words. Okay, clear? चलो, अब बढ़ते हैं हमारे next passage की तरफ, which is a poem. Read the following poem and answer the questions that follow. The Heron. The heron, like a frail wisp of smoking glides down the river canyon, an arrow heading for some unknown place. I see its eye as big as an egg, the legs like two silk banners flying behind, soft the colors and silent the flight. Later in dusk, the hulking shape, just visible, sits still as death in the fork of a fallen tree, resting for the journey into night. This poem is written by N. Starsco. So this poem is it is about one of the migratory birds. Okay, heron करके जो bird होते हैं, they are migratory birds. They are beautiful birds. आप उनकी beak देखोगे, so it is like a pointed beak. It looks like an arrow. That is what the poet is describing it. Okay, it looks like an arrow. Their eyes, they are so big, they look like an egg. Is what the poet is describing them. They have soft feathers. They are white in color, and they have this thing of standing inside the water on one leg also. So children, do read this beautiful poem, understand it well, because it's pretty simple to understand. It talks about the characteristics of this beautiful white bird heron. Okay, and answer the passage, answer the questions with regards to the passage. Okay, take the correct option to answer each of the following questions. Add the prefix an or in to make antonyms of these words. Prefix पता है ना, पहले add होता है before the word, suffixes after the word. Okay, rewrite these sentences as instructed. Read the following passage. Now comes the time to read our next passage, okay, and answer the questions that follow. We are talking about migratory birds here, okay? Quite often, we wonder if the birds know how to come back home after a long flight. Bird scientists, known as ornithologists, say that birds know exactly where they are and where their nests are. Even the young ones can fly hundreds of nautical miles without losing their way. How do they do it? God has given them a tremendous sense of direction. Possibly, they have a compass of sorts in their brain. Every year, we can see birds from North India fly to the south. In India, we have several bird sanctuaries where birds from parts of the globe come, spend a few months, and return when the climatic conditions in their homeland are more favorable. When it is winter in the northern hemisphere, it is summer in the southern hemisphere. The birds which cannot stand the cold climate fly to the warmer regions. They are called migratory birds. They can fly non-stop up to 20 hours or so in one stretch and cover a few hundred miles in one stop. The migratory birds always fly in groups. So बच्चों, ये जो migratory birds होते हैं, okay, we know about them that they migrate from one place to another, okay, during the season that is not suitable for them. Okay, तो उन्हें पता होता है which season is not suitable for them and then they leave in a group. Okay, the entire flock of birds, they leave from one place to another, especially where the climatic condition suits them. And they are, God has made them in such a manner कि उन्हें पता होता है कि वो कहाँ से निकले हैं और उन्हें वापस वहीं पे लौटना है. And you will see that as soon as the season changes, they all fly back to the place from where they have left. So this passage is talking about the entire characteristics of this migratory birds. Okay, so children, read this passage minutely and start answering the questions. So answer the following questions. Find out the words from the passage for these expressions. Name the part of speech of the following words with reference to the poem. Okay, so quickly learn about all these comprehension passages. Once you do these passages, it will be easier for you to attempt any unseen passage or poem. And children, believe me or not, these are the most scoring, okay, passages or poems. Okay, this is the most scoring portion of your exam paper. So you can all score full marks if you know how to pay attention to minutest details. So get going, children.